And we're live. All right. Does everyone have the date and our topic of discussion? Not yet. Make haste, my friends. May I proceed? Yeah. Okay. All right, so just some things to kind of get out of the way here. All right, we've got 4 grammatical terms that you need to become familiar with. All right, we've got our subject, we've got our direct object, and then we've got 2 types of verbs, transitive and intransitive. So take a moment, please. Write down these terms and their definitions, and then we will talk about what each of those things are. Arlen, question?
For the sheet that you just gave us, do we have to mark the direct object for that too?
I was hoping you might. Or at least kind of figure out a pattern or something. Okay. So far, we've probably seen some subjects in the Latin sentences we've been translating, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, after having done that activity that you did after the quiz, the marking up of the chapter 4 story, have we seen some direct objects probably? Yes, you have. Okay. So the difference between subject and direct object is just kind of hindering around the verb. Right? Or hinging around the verb, yeah. Okay, it's not hindering, wrong word. Right, so the subject is the person that does the action, and the direct object just directly receives the action of the verb, right? So Miss Slade slaps the stool. Who's the subject? Slade. And what is the direct object? The stool. The stool, right? Because the stool is directly receiving the slap that I am giving. Okay, let's try another one. The dog ate the homework. Who's the subject?
The dog.
And what is the direct object? The homework, right? So the dog is doing the action, the homework is being acted upon. Okay, all of this is hinging on the verb. Okay, any questions so far? No. Okay. Are these terms we've learned in our grammar classes for English before, perhaps? Okay, now this will be an interesting one. I'm not sure how this is going to go. Raise your hand if you've heard the term transitive or intransitive before. Raise your hand if you've heard that term. You don't necessarily need to know what it means.
Do you have a copy of the Aeneid?
A copy of the Aeneid?
I don't know, I was told it might be in this room. I need an extra copy for
Andrew,
Like you left it in here, or you need one?
No, like, is there any, like, spares?
Not that I'm aware of. Anything up there? No. No, I don't think so.
Thank you.
All right,
I
sorry.
know that if you
I could just share it. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Good luck, soldier. Alright. I should have given him the copy in Latin. See what he did with that? That would have been pretty funny. Okay, so who's heard of transitive versus or intransitive before? Okay, you don't necessarily need to know what it means, but you've heard it. Okay, the difference between the two. A transitive verb is simply a verb that is able to take a direct object, whereas an intransitive verb is one that is not able to take a direct object. Let's talk about it. But before we do, let's talk about these words. So remember on the first day of school when I talked about decoding English words to kind of figure out what they mean? Right? Romans like to mash words together to make new words. All right, so have you seen this word before? Trans. Trans. Okay, everybody say trans.
Trans.
All right, so let's say Miss Slade is a very good sailor and she decides she wants to take the transatlantic crossing. Where am I going? Where am I going? Tim?
From the west part of Atlantic to the east part of Atlantic.
Yes. Yeah, so essentially I'm going across the Atlantic. Right? The Transcontinental Railroad. Where does that go? Across the continent, right? So think of it this way. Trans is the Latin word that just means across. And a transitive verb is a verb that transfers action from something onto something else. So for example, Miss Slade hits the stool. The action has been transferred. Okay, so it is a transitive verb. Now intransitive, that in prefix at the beginning of that word just negates it. It means not transferable action, right? So it is a verb that cannot take a direct object. We are about to see some examples and talk about them. Any questions so far? Are we having fun yet?
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
All right, well, I got a little buy-in. I guess that's good enough for me. Okay. All right, so here are just some examples of sentences in English. Please write them down. I would definitely like you to consider, though, why I have them separated into two columns. Right? One column is probably going to be transitive, and the other column is probably going to be intransitive. I'd like you to figure out which one you think it is, but I will not call on anybody just yet. All right, so take a moment, write down these example sentences. So now that you've had some time to write these down, let's talk. You need more time?
Wait,
Sorry.
do we
What's up?
Put spaces between the sentences.
You don't have. You know what? I would if
Oh,
you
no,
if you
no.
can. If you didn't, that's okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go through and we're gonna kind of mark these up. We're gonna mark them up. Sorry. May I?
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so let's take a look at the first sentence. The cat purrs. So we've got a subject. What is the subject, everybody? All right, so how am I going to mark that up, everybody?
Yes.
Good. And what is my verb, everyone?
Purrs.
Purrs, right. Okay, my question to you is this. Is this transitive or intransitive? Remember, transitive transfers the action, intransitive does not. Jack, what do you think?
Oh, it's intransitive.
It is intransitive. It does not transfer action to a direct object, right? The cat purrs, that's it, end of story. Next one. The horse runs. What's my subject, everyone?
Horse.
Good. What's my verb, everyone?
Runs.
Yeah. Okay, transitive or intransitive? Intransitive. Okay, here's another one for you. Mr. Brumler sails at noon. Transitive or intransitive?
Intransitive.
You guys didn't hesitate. I thought that the at noon might throw you guys off a little bit. Why is this not a direct object? Why is it not a direct object, Zach?
It's a prepositional phrase.
It is a prepositional phrase, yeah. Okay, so we would circle that. Mr. B is our subjecto, and sails is our verb. Okay, the children laughed at me. The children laughed at me. Transitive or intransitive?
Intransitive.
Intransitive. Okay, so at me, what's that grammatical function? What is it, Zach?
Prepositional phrase.
Also a prepositional phrase, so we would circle that. Children is my subject and laughed is my verb. Okay, now let's move on to the other side. Miss Scoville bought carrots. Is the action transferred or not transferred?
Transferred.
It is transferred. So what kind of verb is it, everyone?
Transitive.
Transitive. Good. So if I were to mark up this thingy here, what would I do? Someone talk me through it. What's my markup for this first sentence? Tim Jin.
You mark Miss Scoville as S, the subject,
Mm-hmm.
and you mark bought as B, the verb,
Mm-hmm.
and you mark carrots as the direct object.
Exactly right. Okay, nice. All right, next one. The horse washes the dishes. Okay, we can all guess what kind of verb this is. Transitive or intransitive, everyone? Transitive. Your answers are getting less and less enthusiastic. That's okay. What's my markup? What's my markup? Clinton.
So horse would be subject,
Mm-hmm.
and then washes would be verb,
Yep.
and then dishes would be the
Good. Okay, nice. All right, now Cornelia writes a book and the student asked a question. Are those both examples of transitive verbs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, is the markup going to be SVDO for both of those?
Yes.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and just do that. Okay, now, let's talk about English for a sec. Right, English. English relies on what to convey meaning, right? The pattern is the same for the intransitive side, and the pattern remains the same for the transitive side, right? So what does English rely on to convey meaning? Structure, right? It relies on a strict word order, right? We know the subject is the subject because it comes first in the sentence. We know that the verb follows the subject, and direct objects typically follow the subject and the verb. Okay. Sleepy children, wake up your eyes, or I'll send you to stand in the corner. Forever and ever. Goodbye. Keep your eyes open, please. Okay, these are just some examples. The only one I want to talk about is the first one. The student is happy. Transitive or intransitive?
No.
Transitive.
No. Any of them.
Intransitive.
Technically, it is not transitive,
Yeah.
but what kind of verb is it, though? What kind of verb is it?
A linking verb.
It's a linking
I think
verb.
Transitive and intransitive are only action restricted to action.
Exactly. So it's a linking verb, right? So no action is being transferred. We're just saying that the student and happy are one and the same. Right, Jonathan? Yeah? Dost thou need to stand to stay awake? Prove it then. Prove it. Stay awake. Okay. Let's keep going. So here's the difference, right? English relies heavily on word order, but does Latin?
No.
No. So what about, wow. Like, why is it that the subject doesn't have to go first? Why is it that the verb can be literally anywhere in the sentence?
No idea.
What have we noticed today by doing that markup exercise? Did we figure something out?
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Different endings describe where it goes.
Okay, did everyone hear what Monty just said?
No.
Yes.
Different endings describe where the word goes in the sentence, okay? Our answer, Latin uses endings to indicate noun function,
What was that one? Endings?
okay? Sorry, that's a little weird color. It's kind of hard to see. Oh, it's harder to see on my iPad, right? Okay, endings are what make words like do things in Latin, right? So subjects will have different endings and direct objects will have different endings. And that is how you tell what a word is doing in the sentence, not like English. Okay? May I? Okay. I don't know that I...
Should we write this down?
No, don't write this down. What do I want to do here? I can make a decision. Okay. Actually, let's do it this way. Where are we? La la la. Okay. Romani and chapter 4. Okay. So this was the text that y'all were working on today. Can someone hit me with a markup for the first sentence? Okay. Someone hit me with a markup for that first sentence. All right. Jason Luke, go for it.
Sextus is a subject.
Mhm.
S is the verb. Form molestus is a subject.
Good.
Cui is the subject. Cornelion is the deal.
Good.
Vixat is the verb.
Good. Okay. Nice. All right. I will tell you that that markup is indeed correct. That markup is correct. All right. The only thing I'm going to add here, you guys don't know this yet, but we're going to just underline that. Okay. You'll learn why that is later on.
Because it has a clause.
Kind of, yeah, because it is a clause. Nice. Well done, Finn. Okay. Next. Cornelia igitur sextum non amat. All right. Who'd like to give me the markup for that sentence? Claire, please.
Cornelia is the subject, and sextum is the direct object, and Anna is the verb.
Very good. Exactly right. Okay, I will confirm that for you. It is correct. Okay, let's do maybe... I'd like to go... Okay, let's start here. Let's try this one. I know we're jumping around a little bit, but I kind of got to do it. All right, vocem Cornelia audit, sed sextum non videt. Who'd like to give me the markup for that one? Okay, Monty. Mm-hmm.
Is the subject. Audit is the verb. Sextum is the direct object. Audit is the verb.
Very good. Okay, and you are correct. That is a correct markup. Okay, so what I'd like you guys to do is take a moment and look at the words that we marked up as D-O. Okay, take a look at those words. Is there a pattern? What do they all have in common? Genevieve?
They all end in M.
They all end in M. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to flip back to the notes. If I can find it. Okay, nope, wrong class. Where are you? There you are. Okay, and you're going to generate a chart like this. You're going to generate a chart like this. Like, right, Tim? Look. Grammar's exciting. Get excited. It's super fun. You just got to embrace it.
Is this homework?
Okay, this is going to lead into your homework, yes. Okay, so what you're going to do is this. Where is that reading? Actually, you know what? Don't do it this way. Do it. I think for homework, what I'd rather you guys do is just separate out 2 columns. Subjects in one column and direct objects in another.
This is all going to be on the board, right?
In theory. However, Latin students are supposed to be more responsible than any of the world language other people, whatever, right? Okay, I just made a claim there.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm expecting that you guys are a little more with it. Okay, so if I say something, it should be fair game.
What Latin
So
word has more than the other word?
Is it more what?
if
Why do you claim that Latin is more responsible than any other world language?
Because only certain types of students tend to sign up for Latin, and I've noticed a pattern. Okay, yes, Monty.
So for this, you're talking about the passage.
Yeah, so what, let me go back to the passage then, and I'll explain kind of what I'm expecting of
You
you.
want us to differentiate the subject from the direct object.
Yeah, so essentially, guys, all I'm asking you to do is to go, I didn't say you could leave yet. Why are we packing up?
Oh, I'm just putting something away.
I know, but it's not just you. We're shuffling around and I'm trying to talk. Okay. Just because you didn't hear the homework doesn't excuse you. All right, I just want 2 columns. Okay, subjects in one, direct objects in another. You're going to pull them out from this passage here. Okay? You're going to pull them out from that. All right, if it's a repeat word, right, like you don't have to write a subject twice. But if you see the form as a subject and then you see it as a direct object, be sure to write that, okay?
Okay.
So don't write repeats unless it's a different function. Any questions on that? Okay, in addition to that, I just want you to work through the rest of the chapter 4 reading. Oh, this isn't even the right reading. It's chapter 3 I clicked on. Whoops. Sorry, this one. Okay, so what you started in class. Okay, what you started in class after the quiz. All right, so I'm going to be checking for 3 things here. Did you mark it up? Did you translate? And did you make that list of subjects and direct objects? Okay, I'll say that one more time, a little slowly. I'm looking for your markup, I'm looking for your translation, and I'm looking for that list of subjects and direct objects. Is there any question? No? Okay.
So,
Yeah.
markup, translation, direct objects, and subject separation.
Okay, so again.
You separate the subjects and the direct objects?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So markup, translation, list. Markup, translation, list. I will post that in the portal. Okay, but please be sure to do it. Submit it. Submit it. Okay? But I'll probably visually check it next class. All right, if you have any questions, you can send me an email. But otherwise, you guys can pack up.